Get on.
Okay, we're live. We're live, Peter.
What?
I hate
Why
this.
are we starting yet already?
We're
Oh my
live.
god, dude. No one is on yet. Like, barely.
That's
Dude, obviously
because
it's
it
gonna
hasn't
start with no
started.
one.
Peter,
It
no one's
started.
on because it started just now.
Get some more, get more people on.
I hate this so much.
Dude.
This is Peter Vo, everybody. Okay,
Why are you starting
be,
the stream?
that might not be a good link, Alex, actually. It says this video is unavailable when you click on it.
Okay. Try refreshing it, see if it works.
Can you see the link, though?
What do you mean see it?
Like, are you allowed to copy the link on your Hangout screen? Like, does it
Hold
show?
on. I'm about to test that, actually.
You can do that, then. All right. No one's on yet, but we're live.
Well, how can I do it on here? I'm trying to figure it out.
I don't know. My screen just shows.
Try sending me a link now that you're live.
Okay. Who's sucking down a freaking?
I think Peter.
I'm drinking some.
I thought Axel was a joke at first, like when the trailer started.
Yeah, send a link because Cyan wants to watch.
Peter, why are you laughing? Everyone's just gonna hear this.
Wait, are you living?
No, Peter.
I don't know.
Peter.
Cam, check DMs.
I need to adjust to the fact that this is live because I don't want to say bad.
This thing is soft.
Oh, this is it, Alex. This is it. This is good. Okay, wait. I sent the link. Yeah, I sent the link. Peter's just laughing nonstop.
Okay, I got it. Here we go. Thank you.
Shut up, Peter.
This is a horrible live stream.
It's just we have one viewer.
Oh my god,
Dang.
dude! I didn't.
All right, so everyone.
What even is this?
Everyone, introduce yourself. I'm Cam.
I'm Ben. I'll be right back. Hold on.
I'm Alex.
Yes. If you see the title, we're gonna be talking about MCU movies.
Oh, you actually living?
Yes,
Peter. We've been live for the past.
God, why are you already live?
Peter, just stop. We're live.
Oh my God.
Like,
Peter,
can
we
you
have
end this? Wait, can you end this?
No, Peter, we have 2 viewers right now.
Why can't you just end it and start over?
We have no reason to. If we did that, you would be doing the same thing.
Peter, people can still join this live stream.
Because I don't know, it's kind of screw.
No, it isn't.
Because it's weird. We didn't even start the topic.
Yes, we are. We're starting.
We're going to now. We are
a live stream. People. The point of a live stream is people have the opportunity to join when they want, and it doesn't matter. They always So.
Wait, let's wait for Ben.
Well,
I don't know.
I think we
we lost a viewer already thanks to Peter.
Okay. I will add to this to get the conversation going.
Is Cyan watching?
I sent a link to her. I hope she is. I mean, I don't.
Oh, we want Peter. Somebody in the live chat, Roman Guglielmo in the live chat, is saying He's saying we want Peter. We want Peter. We want Peter. Where is Peter Vo? Peter Vo.
Hold on.
Hey, Roman.
To
Peter,
get the topic started.
Okay.
I read today that Idris Elba didn't even know what the MCU was as an acronym.
Idris Elba.
Whoa.
Yeah, he had no idea what that meant. He didn't realize that actually meant Marvel Cinematic Universe. He thought it meant Manchester United.
That's actually pretty funny. That's funny. Wait, what did he think it standed for?
Manchester United.
What? Did you tweet the link out, Alex?
What?
Did you tweet the link out?
Oh crap! Thank you for reminding me.
Okay, we're gonna just go down. I think we're just gonna talk about all the movies.
Wait, can you wait?
Are we gonna start
in
from
here?
just phase 1?
We're gonna start with Iron Man. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Okay,
just
wait,
wait
add
for
people in here.
Peter. We have a good amount of people. We don't want too many. This is good. Just us 4.
Why?
I think people can join. People can have the opportunity.
Dude, we don't want more people on
Peter,
it.
just don't be. This is a live stream. Just like
Let's
don't.
get Brian Cooper on.
Okay. Okay, and I will be looking at the live chat too. So if anyone wants to comment,
all right, you gotta look at the live chat.
I'm looking at.
Wait,
Okay,
actually, I'm gonna pull it on. Hold on.
I have it right now, Peter. Literally.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go on your things.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, I did it.
Jack O'Connor is on. Cyan is on.
Wait.
Jack.
No
Okay,
so
here we go. We're just gonna start with phase 1. We're gonna work.
Oh my god. We need people on here.
Phase 1, Iron Man. It's not that good. It's okay. The end.
Oh.
Here we go. We're just gonna start with. Stop, Peter. Turn the volume off.
This needs to be a roundtable discussion. So Cam on Iron Man. It's not that good. Cam's hosting.
Okay. Peter, turn that. Okay. If Peter, don't watch it. Like we don't want the echo.
Look at comments.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the comments on my phone.
Yeah, Cam can't because he's hosting it.
I'm hosting the.
Right,
just don't do it, Peter. Okay.
How about I wonder what the comments are? So.
All right, so we're gonna. I know what the comments are because I have it up. So I'm the host. I'm gonna read them off. Okay.
And
all right,
Marlon is hosting this. He'll introduce it, and then we'll all go around.
Yeah. So Marlon might pop in eventually. So.
Where's Marlon?
Oh, we said he might.
Okay.
All right. So
all right.
We're gonna start off with Iron Man. Obviously, Iron Man is the one that started it all. 2008.
Okay. So
Peter.
What? Dude, you go first.
So, what are your thoughts on Iron Man, Alex? You can start.
One of the best superhero movies.
Alex, is your name Alex? Alex.
Okay. I think this movie is good as a starter. I don't think it's a great movie by any means, and I think this movie
better than Man of Steel.
Please stop.
You are not
Peter. Please don't talk over people.
Okay, so what I think works about this is setting up the universe because clearly it did. Look where
Peter,
we are
please stop taking sips of your.
Okay, fine. Okay.
So yeah, I like the world building in this. I think really works. It's one of the only reasons I think it works because you know, we have this universe now. I think as a film, it's very poorly constructed and edited. But I don't hate it by any means. I think it's good enough. It's good enough.
All right. Roman Guglielmo said, "I want Peter to make a speech about Spider-Man: Homecoming, but we're not yet. That will happen later, Roman, because we're going down from like 1 to all the way down. So, and yeah, Man of Steel is not a Marvel. I think Iron Man is pretty good. I think its main issue is it's not like super memorable. I mean, obviously, it started the whole universe, but like, there's some. I don't think Jeff Bridges was that like well of a villain. I mean, he's not my favorite. He's okay, I guess, but like, I don't know. There's some writing issues. I feel. I mean, it's really good. The effects are all pretty good. I think, especially. Yes.
Yeah, you brought up it not being memorable, which I agree. And I think since this was the first movie, I think this should have laid down how Marvel was going to go about its iconography. And I think the reason I think a lot of these movies aren't memorable is because there's no like distinct iconography.
But I think the reason it didn't do that was because it was kind of a test too to see if it would actually work, and they didn't know it would turn into this whole like cinematic universe. So, Peter, what do you have to say about Iron Man, the original?
I don't know. I really liked it. Um,
Do you have any?
Like, I don't know. It's a really good movie.
Okay, Ben.
I mean, it's have issue, but yeah.
Yeah, Ben.
Basically,
What about?
it's a great start off to kick it off.
Yeah,
Robert
it's a
Jr.
great star.
iconic
Peter.
man,
Yeah.
and the third act's not that great, but everything leading up to that is really well
I
written.
think.
It's pretty
Oh yeah,
well
and
written. Yeah, that's about it. It's really good. A minus.
Oh, should we
Yeah,
all
let's give our
oh yeah,
grade.
and Jeff
Let's
Bridges
give
is
our
not that
grades.
good. I was like,
Okay.
I'd give it.
I give it an A.
I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. What about you, Alex?
I'd give it a 6 out of 10.
All right. Okay, now we're moving into taking a little deep dive into the Incredible Hulk.
Oh.
Can I start this one off?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
This movie has a lot of good things going for it. Overall,
Cyan. Okay. I'm just gonna take a quick look at the live chat. Jack O'Connor, Ben's brother, is saying SMH Cam LLL but just a bunch of random shit. And Cyan is saying no one listens to us. But Cyan doesn't actually have a question.
Anyway, okay. But yeah, to start Incredible Hulk off, I think this movie is only okay, but it has a lot of good things going for it. Edward Norton, really good casting.
Edward Norton is
Wait, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Edward Norton or Mark Ruffalo?
I think Edward Norton is a better Hulk, and we'll get into
we'll get more into Mark Ruffalo later.
think Edward Norton was a great choice.
Yeah, what's up, Jack?
I think the
Jack
script
O'Connor.
is the problem with this movie, but and I think with a different director, it could have been a lot better.
Yeah, I don't even know who directed it. It's like some random dude.
Like Louis Ferrigno or something like that.
No, that's Lou Ferrigno played the Hulk.
I don't know.
Did the motion capture.
Who's the director again?
Carrier.
Yeah, he did. Lou
Louis
Ferrigno did do the
Leterrier.
motion capture until Age of Ultron. I'm pretty sure. But like Alex said, I think Incredible Hulk is incredibly like messy. The writing is the big like.
Yeah,
I think the writing is for sure what brings it down, but I don't think the performances are that bad. Like William Hurt's pretty good, I guess. Edward Norton does do a fine job, I think. He's not awful. He just didn't have a well script to work with.
good enough. I think you mean, but
and once again, it's very like some things I don't really remember about it. It's kind of forgettable for sure. Like villain once again, Tim Roth is not that good. The New York battle at the end was very like it doesn't like compared to the effects in Iron Man, it's raw. Like you know what I mean? It definitely has worse like special effects.
It only came out a month afterwards. So.
Yeah, because
crazy
it wasn't. I'm pretty sure when they realized Iron Man did so well, they wanted to make a universe. So that's why the after credit scene and they like. Okay, what about you, Ben? What do you think?
All right. By far, worst MCU movie.
I agree with that.
It's
by far is the worst MCU movie.
It is an absolute drag from beginning to end. It is poorly shot. The action scenes are they're watchable, but they're not good and they're not memorable. And Hulk's hair is not good. I'm gonna get that out of the way. And the villain is trash. And yeah, it's super forgettable. If like I don't know, you can honestly just skip this one if you really want to.
That's true. I mean, like if you want, you can just like
because the only things that carry over are the Hulk himself and General Ross, and that's about it.
Oh, and wait, Alex, you tweeted the link, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, Peter, what do you have to say about the Incredible Hulk?
I don't know. It's the worst MCU movie. That's for sure.
Really?
I mean, it's not like a lot of good thing in it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, Edward Norton is really bland, and the movie's really boring.
Edward Norton's not that good in it.
Yeah, it's not that good, and the Abomination is a bad villain. So
Okay.
it's
So
fine. It's
go
fine.
around.
I mean,
What's everyone's
okay.
rating? What's everyone's rating?
C minus.
C plus.
Are we doing out of 10 or grades?
I'm doing out of 10. I mean,
I'm
I'm
I
doing
guess-
gray.
So Cam and I
I-
are doing out of 10, and Peter and Ben are doing grade. But for
Okay.
me, I'd give it probably a 5 out of 10. I think it's okay.
I would also give it.
Yeah, I would
pretty-
also give it 5.
Yeah, 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'd give it.
It's I guess.
C
Okay.
minus.
Now, Iron Man.
Man 2. Okay.
Who wants to start off?
Okay.
We have one viewer. We're down to one viewer, but
Who
hopefully-
left?
Let's just
I don't know. Now we have 2. Let's just keep going. Who wants to start off, Alan?
I think composing this movie must have been very exciting, because I think there are a lot of scenes and ideas in this movie that are really cool, but I think they're executed really poorly and kind of rushed. Also, this like the whole movie just feels like it was because like I mean obviously this was a test, this whole series, but like this one just felt very shoehorned in.
Yeah, phase
Especially
1.
because we had only seen like Iron Man and Hulk were the only two, and we went straight back to Iron Man, and it felt kind of front loaded. And
It's the only sequel. It's the only sequel in phase 1.
Exactly. So yeah, I think I don't like this movie. I don't necessarily hate it, but I do think it's bad for the most part. And
to answer your question, Cyan, if you're that one viewer, then you are the only person watching at the moment. Hopefully more people will come back, because I think we had like up to 7 or 8 earlier. We were doing pretty well.
What saves this movie from not being absolutely terrible is Sam Rockwell, because
The cast is pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, the cast is amazing.
All right. Can you mind if I go next?
Yeah, go ahead.
I agree with Alex. I think it's a fine movie, but I agree that I think that they were just like so happy with their success of the first one that I think that they just figured audiences would want this right away. And Mickey Rourke, I mean, they did kind of rush this one out, and Sam Rockwell's pretty good. I think he's a pretty good villain, but then you got Mickey Rourke, which is just probably one of the worst of the MCU for sure.
Yeah.
And it's entertaining, and it's got some pretty good jokes in it and stuff, but on the whole, it's easily the worst Iron Man movie, and
I agree with that.
Disagree.
It's just
But
rough.
we'll get to that later.
Okay, Cam, get out.
It's just a bit.
Dude, this is my live stream.
All right.
Okay, now
Again,
me.
it feels rushed, and I think if they took a little bit more time, they could have had a much better movie.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's all right. I mean, definitely, I kind of agree with what both of you guys said. Like, they seem kind of fearless, so they're like, whatever we put out, they'll watch. And I think it suffers. I don't think the jokes are great in this one. Once again, the writing is a little but for the most part, I kind of enjoy it. Like I enjoyed the racetrack scene. Sam Rockwell is pretty good in it. Not a fan of Mickey Rourke. I think he has some pretty cringy dialogue spread through it.
Bird.
The bird. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, the action scenes are good, but
The action scenes are actually seem kind of like a step up from the first one. I feel like the effects are
it's
better.
after like all these other movies that we'll talk about, it just like none of these are all that memorable except for
Like
the racetrack one.
my big problem with phase 1 is nowadays, since so much more stuff has happened, it just kind of feels under the bus. Does anybody agree with me?
And I don't think that's a bad thing, but it shouldn't be like that. So
Because Phase 1 was just to set everything up, and I understand.
I mean, set up for the Avengers.
Obviously. Peter, what do you
Yeah.
have to say about Iron Man 2?
It's fine, I guess. It doesn't have. It's really messy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
have a good villain. Well, I like Mickey Rourke, so I think he's a good villain, and Sam Rockwell is really good.
All right. Pretty.
And yeah, I
Pretty
don't know.
generous. I'd say it's a pretty
As you say,
pretty generous.
it's
6 out of 10 for me. 6 out of 10.
it's B minus 6 out of 10. Yeah.
B minus as well.
4
Yeah.
out of 10.
4 out of 10.
Okay.
Okay. Thor. Who wants to
Thor.
start off?
Okay.
All
Alright.
Can I start this one off?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't think this movie
Yeah.
works. I think it should work, and it doesn't. Because I've seen a lot of criticism that like he's removed from his home planet, and like that's a bad thing for most of the movie. I think that's a great idea. I just didn't like what they did with it because it felt very. It just felt like it. It didn't feel like a Marvel movie, even for the time that it was at, because
It's a little
I think this
slow.
one has a lot of atmosphere. Because the atmosphere is definitely there at the beginning, but they couldn't do anything, I think, with the rest of the location. Where is it? New Mexico, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah,
think
New
I
Mexico.
think the cinematography really drowned this one out because like you can still create like a visceral like setting, and the other movies, despite you know how I feel about them already, but like they did feel very atmospheric to a degree.
Yeah.
And this one was kind of lost there.
Yeah. It's fine. I really like the setup. I think it has a pretty good, solid like first 20 minutes. And then like I guess when Thor's on New Mexico with Natalie Portman and stuff, I think that's kind of enjoyable, but then like when it cuts back to like Asgard, I think all that stuff is kind of boring and like I don't know. It's not it's fine. It's kind of, once again one of the more forgettable MCU movies, but there's things to enjoy about it. Loki's pretty good. Loki's probably the first very solid villain that was brought to the MCU, and Tom Hiddleston does a
Thor is one of my favorite.
okay. Peter, what do you want to say about Thor? First one.
Honestly, I don't even know what to say about this one. I mean, it's fine, I guess. I mean, the Earth stuff thing, it's just really boring, and
I think that's the opposite for me.
yeah, and Loki is a really good villain, but yeah, I mean, it's forgettable, I guess, but I don't know.
Okay,
It's
Ben.
fine.
Ben, what about you?
I agree. I also agree, and I would say this is another fine one. I love what I do like is I like kind of the scale of this movie when it's in Asgard, and like there's that great sweeping shot at the beginning where you see the castle and everything, and I think they do that really well and kind of introducing that aspect, and I think the score really works well at a lot of times. But again,
really good score.
it's just kind of a slog of a movie. Some of the New Mexico stuff is all right, but it's just, and I like that, but I do think this was kind of the best way to introduce Thor into Earth. You know, I mean, this is really the only thing they could do. It just kind of, it just kind of has some on and off pacing with me.
Yeah, I forgot to say that I really do like the score. I think
I can't remember a song from it, so
I remember the end credit music, and it was pretty
Yeah,
good.
one
But
of
yeah,
the
once again, pretty solid 6 out of 10 for me.
I'm going 5 out of 10.
Wait, what?
What is your
We're rating
grade
Thor.
for
B minus.
I'm gonna say also B minus again.
Okay, now Captain.
Wait, Alex, what's your grade?
Uh,
Wait,
Five,
Alex, what's your
five
grade?
out of 10. And now Captain America, the First Avenger. This is when it
Ooh.
starts to get
okay.
goody.
This-
Oh, wow.
I'll start this off because I have been starting most of them off.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this movie. This is the first great movie I think they made. Because this movie is one, very foundational, not only to its character, but by the end of the movie, it felt like a real journey. So I think it's foundational. I think it's hokey, which works, and I think it's aggressively comic, and that's exactly what this needed for a Captain America movie. It's the best Captain America movie, and I
Mm-hmm.
think there's a lot of just a lot of heart to this, like underlying, and it feels very of its own era and self-aware of itself. Um, so
Okay.
I like, yeah, this movie like always makes me feel good if I decide to watch it. And I think this definitely was one of its own.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best of the phase one. So I
Yeah,
really,
definitely agree.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Yeah, I love the setting, and they do this, and they did setting really well. And I think, and like the costume and design, and like technically, this is a very good movie, like costume design wise, and like I said, it just gets the setting perfectly, and it does. It feels like its own thing, and this was a good way to start off a character that later on keeps evolving. And people might say that he's kind of boring in this and the first Avengers movie, but I think that they just set him up really well, and then it was able to just take his character further and just evolve him more. So I do think this was a great start to Captain America and his character, and it's
What
probably
about?
the best of Phase One.
All right, Peter. What do you think about the First Avenger?
I really like it. Yeah. It's a start off. It's a great start for Captain America. And by the way, Red Skull is a really good villain.
Oh yeah, Red Skull's
Oh
great.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. That's
I
yeah.
really like this movie.
Beck.
I think the only problem, well, the thing is, for me, is I think the first like half of the movie is really great. I love the first half of the movie, like when he's small and then like he first starts to become Captain America and stuff. I think that's all great, and I think it kind of dips in the second half, but not completely. I still like it. It's still enjoyable. I don't know. I think it's the worst Captain America movie, but it's still.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, it is the worst Captain America movie.
it's the best, but we'll get there.
Brendan says Peter's voice makes me so wet. But yeah,
What
I
does my
still really
voice
like
sound
it.
like?
Very good movie. I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
I'm giving it an 8.
But yeah, I still really like it. Stop! Pause that. Whoever's playing the video.
Kidding.
That's
Ben,
very-
what would you rate it?
Ben, what do you rate it?
Ben?
Ben.
He left?
Ben died. Actually, I can look it up. I know what Ben gave it.
Oh yeah,
Ben,
I gave it 8 out of 10.
yeah, Ben gave it an 8 out of 10. All right.
Yeah, all right, I was gonna A minus. Yep.
Oh yeah, A minus. Yeah.
Okay. Here's a big one. The
The
Avengers.
Avengers.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
Alex.
All
you
right,
can
this is a
start us off.
masterpiece right here, guys.
All right. Before the concept of this movie is a masterpiece, because it's essentially a remake of Seven Samurai, but every teen movie is. But and I love that this movie has so much to draw from without having to like just like centralize things. You know, the characters. I guess to draw from all of that. And I think the first Avenger, as in Captain America: The First Avenger, like started this off on a good note. But I think the sad thing about this movie is that I think the worst thing about it is the production value makes us feel really dated. And I think Joss Whedon is better at composing character moments and not action sequences. And this is a 2.5 hour long movie. So most of it is going to be composed on action. And it feels very dry and long. And what saves this movie is interactions that last long enough to where like we'll get to the other MCU movies, but I think, and I'm not even a big fan of this movie. I don't really like it that much, but I appreciate that the jokes are not so quick and that everything has time. There's really good timing in this movie because the timing gets so shortened by the upcoming ones, and we'll get there. But
Brendan says, "Do you like the Beatles?" I do.
I do.
So Peter could say I do. But,
all right.
Yeah,
So, like Alex said, I love the interactions in this movie between the characters. I remember watching it in theaters, and it just made me smile. Like I was just really happy watching this. It doesn't hold up as well, like it used to, like back in like 2012. It doesn't hold up as well as it did. I think it's still a really fun movie, though. I think it's probably the best of Phase 1, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The New York battle's great. Loki wasn't the best choice for. I mean, like looking at
Oh
it.
God, I can't wait to revisit.
Looking at it now, I mean, I guess it was good that Loki was the villain, but we'd seen him before, and I mean, like, I don't know. But for what they were trying to accomplish, I think they accomplished it doing a big team up movie, adding this whole universe together or beginning to. I think that worked out really well. Peter, what do you have to say about the Avengers?
Yeah, they did it really well. I know.
Ben?
Yeah, like the whole thing just like been building up to that movie, so yeah.
Ben.
All right.
Oh yeah, and by the way, that Battle of New York is really iconic.
okay, I will give you that one. Actually,
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Ben.
What you guys said about character interactions, I really agree. I think this is probably one of the most well-written Marvel movies. And I guess I can understand some aspects that might be dated, but I do think this movie holds up in entertainment value and I guess what part of the reason I think guys might think it's dated is the way it's shot, because it's not shot the best. It's not the best movie visually, but like there are some like just great iconic shots in this movie. You know, of course, the famous
Dun,
uh,
dun, dun.
360,
that song was kind of perfect.
and this was the first
yeah.
MCU I saw in theaters, and so it's pretty, I guess. And
Oh yeah, and that circle shot. Oh my God.
Yeah,
See, like
Yeah.
that, I totally.
Yeah.
so great.
Oh, yeah.
I love it, and I really love. Yeah,
pretty important.
8 out of 10.
A.
A+.
5 out of 10.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. Now, Iron Man 3.
Oh yes.
I know.
All right, Phase
This was
2.
Who wants to start it off? You guys can go first.
Phase
because I
2.
know. Yeah,
I've
Phase
been
2.
thinking of
I
that.
have a
alright.
different opinion than everyone on this.
All
All right.
Wait.
All right. We're
Let's
gonna
let
go
Peter
hard
go
on this
first.
movie, okay?
Let's have Peter do.
Yeah, Peter, you
Wait,
can
no,
start it.
no.
Peter.
Actually, you gotta go first.
No, Peter.
Peter.
Alex. Go ahead.
Wait. Can we take a wait? Can I be
No.
right back?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll
We'll.
talk while you go and do whatever.
Yeah, Peter, be quick.
Because I'm gonna get something. I don't know.
Okay. This is the next greatest MCU movie after the Captain America 1 because I think it was a great idea to bring Shane Black on, but what I think he utilized this is where like I think the MCU really started to interweave between its other films, but I think this one did it in a very good way, and it's it like became this sterilized like Greek tragedy, but like in the form of like modern day superhero and heroism, um, and like in this case, the study is Tony Stark, and his image is a tragedy when faced with him. There's a movie called Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk, and I'm gonna relate it to the movie because I think they're very similar. Hey, I'm making it.
No, I haven't just the name of that movie still.
Yeah, Billy Lynn. I think both of these movies do a really good job at showing how panic and terror can be faced against one another in the media and like publicized in people's faces because Tony can't escape his image because he's everywhere and he is a hero, but he can't recount his past because it tortures him, like when he went through that wormhole. And I think this movie really utilized that and the character and like took it somewhere. And I think he did feel changed by the end. And I think this is the fullest that character has ever been. And I kind of admire that. So this movie, I just something stands out about it. I think it's very bold for what it is.
Yeah,
and
I definitely agree. Sorry to cut in, but do you want to finish quick?
Yeah, no, I think I got what I needed to say.
Ben, you can go next.
I definitely agree that this is probably it's in competition with how the character is now, but this is definitely some of the best Tony Stark has ever been. This is the first time I feel like people like the audience has gotten to relate to him the most because he's going through all the struggles with the PTSD and stuff, and he's not like the big quippy rich guy that doesn't have to worry about anything. This just has some of the best character moments of Tony Stark ever, and it is like just by far the strongest Iron Man movie, if you ask me. And
I agree.
The action scenes are, if we're gonna just get into this quick, they are incredible. I love how I love the scope of a lot of them, and like how different it feels than some of the others because the airplane. I love that sequence.
That's an exciting scene. I felt actually excited watching.
I would love. I just think that would be a great scene to see.
All right, Cam.
Even the final battle, like it just.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry.
But great movie. Let's have Peter go now.
Yeah, Peter, if you can go if you want.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so this is definitely the best Iron Man character yet. I do think that this is RDJ's best performance, and really.
What was that?
I don't know.
Did you hear it?
And the third act of this movie is really good.
The what?
The third act of this film is really good, and the action sequences. Yeah, and then Shane's Black did like really well with this movie.
One last thing I want to mention.
All right,
and the villain is really good in this movie.
Oh my god, the twist!
To mention the villain. Oh yeah, and the twist of this film.
I've never been a fan of the twist. I'll get to that in a minute.
I appreciate the twist. It was very modern.
It's well crafted.
And I love how he's not able to rely on his suit throughout the whole movie. He has to do stuff on his own. And I love him just going through the hardware store and
Me too.
buying just shit
Hmm.
to build.
Okay.
Yeah. Cam?
I feel like
All
there's-
right, let's move on. Let's move on.
I feel the more I'll say this. I feel like the more and more I hear people talk about this movie, I feel like there's something I'm missing. Because I don't love Iron Man 3. Not the biggest fan. I will say over the past year or so, it has started to grow on me a little. I think I still need another rewatch because I think I've only seen the whole movie like sit through twice in theaters, and then when I was doing a marathon before Infinity War. But I do love the first act of this movie. I think from the beginning to when the missile hits Tony Stark's house is great. I love all the stuff with Happy Hogan. He's a great character. But I don't love the Mandarin twist at all. I really don't know. I didn't like that whole scene. I think the third act is very bland. I don't know. I think I need another rewatch. It's about time.
You should.
I don't see the love for this movie that much. I think all the stuff with Tony is the more I think about it, the better it gets, I guess. Because at the moment, let's cut into our grades. At the moment, I give it a 5 out of 10.
I would go for 9 out of 10.
No, Peter, you're doing grades, Peter.
Oh yeah. A.
8 out of
Alex?
I said 8 out of 10. Yeah.
One last thing. This is a good example of a sequel putting a kid in it and it actually works.
Oh yeah, Tyson was getting it for them.
And I mean, I've
It's
said
really good.
I said this was the best one, but it's also an A- as well as the first one, but it is a improvement.
All right. Now we're diving into a wet piece of dog
deep
shit.
hole right here.
Deep
The
hole, jumping into a deep pile of a black hole or the dark world.
All right.
Peter, start us off.
Masterpiece.
No, we gotta go in order.
Yeah.
Okay, then can I start?
What?
Or
Why?
no, Alex, you start.
Alex first.
Yeah. I get this movie is bad, and I do think it's bad. I think it's the worst MCU movie. There are other MCU movies that are just as worse, so I don't understand why this is like dogpiled on, but I do think it's terrible. The funny thing is, Alan Taylor directs this, and he directed some of Game of Thrones.
All right, sorry.
So that seems like an absolute perfect match. But for some reason, he gets all the subtleties in this movie way better than like the action or storytelling, because all of that falls completely flat. And when that's the basis of your movie is the script, it just does not work at all. I will say, considering this is my least favorite Marvel movie out of all of them, it has my favorite joke out of any joke out of any Marvel movie.
Someone has joined us. Gavin, what's up?
Hey, Gavin.
Okay.
All right, Gavin, you want to join our conversation?
Wait,
we're going down all the MCU movies, and we're on Thor: The Dark World right now.
Can you guys hear me clearly? Is my audio good and all that?
Yeah,
I can hear.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
They're better than before.
Alex.
I'll keep going.
All right,
Yeah.
that's a yes. All right, cool. Where are we on right now?
Thor: The Dark World.
Go.
I'm finishing it.
I don't remember a lot. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, so this has the best physical gag out of any Marvel movie, which is when Thor puts his hammer on the coat hook. I think that's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. But it's like my entire theater erupted. And that was I think that's the funniest like physical gag out of any Marvel movie. But otherwise, this movie's not good at all. So.
Okay, I barely remember a thing that happened in this movie. Very forgettable. I remember Chris O'Dowd is in it. Isn't he like? He's like no, and the one gag I did really like in this movie that's memorable to me is when Loki turns into Captain America. I remember finding that actually pretty funny. But other than that, I really dislike this movie. It's my least favorite in the MCU. There's nothing going for it, I feel. It's just a very gritty, ugly looking movie. And,
I'll agree that looks very ugly.
yeah, and I don't like it at all. Peter?
Yeah, it's not that good. So yeah, the cinematography is not that good, and the villain.
Oh, villain sucks.
Yeah, the villain sucked.
Uh,
Yeah, it's definitely stepped down the first one for sure. So it's one of the weakest MCU movie.
I think it is the weakest. But that's
Yeah, the Incredible Hulk is like right there. So.
all right, Ben. What do you have to say about it?
okay, so this is definitely by far one of the most. This is the like one of the most blandest superhero movies that have came out recently, like in the past 10 years or so.
Damn.
That's
As
a
far
bit too broad.
Yes, too.
what?
I said I think that's a bit too broad. Do you mean like 5 years?
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, like
Okay.
5 or so years. Like you know what? Just one of the most blandest recently.
Mm-hmm.
It's if we're gonna talk about positives, I think Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston continue to have a good dynamic with each other, and I
Yeah.
like back and forth at times. I think the action scenes are pretty entertaining, but again, they're just not really memorable.
Okay.
Villain sucks. I don't know. It's just kind of it's just kind of a slog of a movie. But I mean, with all that said, A+ masterpiece.
Damn.
Okay. Wait, Gavin. Do you have anything to say about Thor: The Dark World?
I don't remember a lot from it, so
Great now.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do our grades.
I would give it a 5 out of 10.
You're doing.
I mean
great.
C plus. Yeah.
Okay.
Does it really matter, Cam?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it doesn't. I'd give it a 3 out of 10.
I'm
Yeah,
also
C.
going to give it a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right.
See,
C. No.
Wait. Do you have a letter grade, Gavin, or anything?
I really don't.
All
Oh,
right.
all right. All right. Let's talk about
What's next?
the Winter Soldiers.
Oh
Winter
yeah.
Soldier.
That's
The
pretty.
Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Do you mind if
All
I
right.
start?
Yeah. You can start. Go ahead.
I love this movie. I adore it. I think it is the third best MCU movie. This takes my favorite Avenger and it takes his character from the first movie and evolves him in such a way where he has to completely adapt to a new environment. And I think the direction and the tone is perfect, and as well as the action scenes and the spoilers, I guess, but the
Yeah, it's
whole
fine. Go
the
ahead.
whole
Go ahead.
deal with Bucky and everything was really well handled, even if you knew going in that Bucky is the Winter Soldier. And I adore this movie.
Yeah. Oh, like Ben was saying, I this is one of my favorite MCU movies. I just love the way you see Cap adapting to the modern world. I love that. And I think it has some really great action sequences as well. And I love the overall premise, how Shield is down and Hydra is taking over. I love all that. I love the spy movie feel to it. I love it. I love the winner. This is one of my faves. Who
I
wants
like
to,
this movie. I'll go next.
yeah, Alex.
I like this movie a lot, and I couldn't. Maybe not a lot. I think it's very good. I think what kind of struck me, because it took me a while, I was dissecting in my head right before speaking why I like this movie. I think it's because after maybe the first 10 minutes, there was a constant hopelessness to this movie. And I think that's what's driving it. Because, I think, yeah, as you're saying, Cap is trying to adapt. That there's that pressure. Is like in a melting pot with the political landscape and the state of Shield. I think that was a great reveal for the franchise to do. I think that really like shifted the gears. But this movie felt very hopeless, and I think that was the first time the MCU really felt that urgently. Like this felt very urgent, and its pacing and its editing, and I think that's what makes it work.
Marlon!
Very good.
Yo, what's up, Marlon?
Not much.
We're talking about the Winter Soldier right now.
That's all. I mean, it's good. I fully have my own opinion on it, really, but I enjoy it.
Okay. Peter, what do you think of the movie?
Oh, dude, I sent Marlon the link to this thing.
Yeah, Marlon, tell me.
I didn't know he had it, so I just sent it. I don't know.
Peter, what do you think of the movie?
Yeah, I really like it. It's a really like well constructed movie, and some of the best like fight in the entire MCU.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Alexander Pierce is one of my favorite MCU villains. So
Love
for sure.
Alexander.
yeah.
Wait, Marlon, do you have anything to say about the Winter Soldier?
Wait, what's up?
Do you have anything to say about the Winter Soldier?
Good movie. Very good movie.
All right.
Okay.
I haven't watched it in a long time, so yeah.
All right. Let's all give our grades. It's one of my favorites. I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
A+.
A+.
7 out of 10.
8.5.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Peter, you act like that's such a harsh grade.
Yeah, that's damn good.
Kidding me.
Oh, I'm excited for the next one. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
I'll start this off. I think if you erase the fact that this is an MCU movie and you just read the plot like on its own, it's horrible. It's just so. What makes this work is that it's a Marvel movie, believe it or not. But just because, yeah, I think the problem is like as a Marvel movie, this plot comes off as inventive, and it can be, but it still feels very contrived and not rewatchable, and very. I think this movie is painfully unaware of itself, and I think that's a big problem with it.
Okay, I'll take what Alex.
I'm not done yet. I'm almost
Oh,
done.
okay.
I think it's a good movie. I think I appreciate its audacity, even if it's a very thin. And I think as dumb, like Bradley Cooper as a raccoon is the stupidest thing ever. But like,
But they make it work.
Yeah.
no, not really.
Yes, they.
What?
No, I was about to say. I find it funny that of all people, Chris Pratt is the best character in this movie, and I don't.
Sorry to interrupt you, Alex, but Ben told me like a few days ago that they originally had Adam Sandler in mind for playing Rocket.
I think that.
What happened?
Like I can just hear that too. Like,
Hey guys, yeah.
yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
what happened to Adam Sandler?
I don't know. It's a good movie, but I think the right things about it don't fit with the rest of the franchise. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I'll take with what you said about the rewatchable part. I don't think it's as rewatchable as some of the other MCU movies. I still think it's really good. I love what it went for. I remember going into it, I wasn't aware of how funny it would be, and I had a blast watching it in the theater. It wasn't what I was
have
expecting.
one very quick thing. Benicio del Toro is actually the best character in the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I love
Anyway.
so many aspects about this movie. I think it's a very pretty looking movie. Some of the some scenes.
You should have seen the
I
movie.
love I fell in love with most of the characters. I love Drax. I love Groot. The ending is so, like, we can talk about spoilers. The ending is so sad. Like, I know obviously he's gonna come back, Groot, but that I found that so sweet
Yeah.
how he sacrifices himself.
I saw Guardians in IMAX yesterday, and that looked really good in IMAX with the
Nice.
ratio.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We Groot.
that's We Are Groot. Do you have anything to say about Guardians, Marlon?
It's one of my favorites, honestly. But I honestly prefer Volume 2 being quite honest.
Me too.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we're going in order, like in.
Yeah.
We're going.
Oh, you guys already talked about Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Damn.
Why? Do you have anything to say about that?
Oh hell yeah, underrated movie for sure.
Okay, good.
Hey, let's go.
I mean, Cam doesn't, but otherwise, we're on the same page.
I saw Iron Man 3. I saw Iron Man 3 in IMAX the other day, and that shit was booming in IMAX. It was a really fun
I
time.
saw it in IMAX a long time ago, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Ben, what do you have to say about Guardians?
I just want. So what I think both of the Guardians movies do really well is character moments, and I love a lot of the lines and the jokes in these movies. You know where Rock. Of course, there's the one where Rock is like, how he says Drax species like metaphors go over his head, and he goes, nothing goes over that. My reflexes are too fast.
Oh yeah.
That, and I love he's like, just like you said, bitch, we're the Guardians of the Galaxy. Just stuff like that. I love that stuff. And I love the cast, and
I think it's very quotable too.
I don't think so.
By now, especially.
You guys know this. I love Chris Pratt, and this is like first with the Lego movie, and this in that 1 year, like this is where I really started to get into his, get excited for like his future projects and stuff.
Man, we should just have a live stream about the Lego movie instead.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay, Peter.
This is a great movie. Love it.
Peter, what do you have to say about it?
I don't really have much to say about this, but I mean, is one of the more rewatchable MCU movie for sure.
I disagree, but it's so great.
Yeah, and I love
but
and I love all these characters, and yeah, it's really good.
All right, Gavin, do you have anything to say?
You said,
oh, you did. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, grades. I'd give it 8 out of 10.
Ethan. I was talking
for sure.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah, I got interrupted. That's why. I don't know if you guys. But yeah, one more that were pretty looking MCU movies, because most of them are pretty bland looking and uninteresting to look at. Well, for Ragnarok and all that, but of course it's pretty entertaining and all. 8 out of 10. But Volume 2 is better. I'll say that.
I'll go 5 out of 10.
What? Honestly, I'll go. I'm between a 9.5.
Ben?
A plus.
Okay. All right. Wait, what's next?
Age of Ultron.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Age of Ultron.
All right. Age of Ultron. Here
All
we
right.
go. Can I start off?
But I wanted to start off.
Just let me start off, Alex.
All right. Okay.
Nah, let Alex start.
Yeah, you know what? You've always started. Just go ahead.
Okay. This is by far
There's
the
a
best.
spider on my bed.
Okay. This is by far the best Avengers movie. And this has the best character catharsis out of any Marvel movie, because all the characters have an overarching catharsis.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Don't just keep going.
Okay. This overarching like stress. I mean, stress is the simple way to put it, but they're at odds with their own heroism when it's what they're known for. And I think this movie is very melancholy and sad. But I think it's also the most sympathetic it is towards its characters and their conflict. Because again, we'll get to other movies, but I think everybody is having this like disillusioned psychological head trip throughout this entire movie. And it's also the best shot, in my opinion. This movie looks gorgeous for the most part. I think what's in frame is the only problem, but I think the cinematography is very good. But this movie feels very soulful and grand when it chooses to be. And Joss Whedon, obviously, I think we all know about Joss Whedon now, so he's kind of say what you will about him, but his skill here as a filmmaker, I think, really shows, especially in the studio era. So I think this is a very impressive movie, and I really admire it. Love it.
I like it. I liked it at first. I rewatched it, didn't like it as much, and then I rewatched it again, and I liked it again. It's definitely, in my opinion, the weakest Avengers movie. There's things I think it should have been one of my big issues. I feel it should have been darker. Like, I didn't like how Ultron was like constantly cracking jokes. And
What?
like I didn't like the whole Pinocchio thing. I didn't find that like I don't know. I felt Ultron. I wasn't a fan of. I thought Ultron looked cool in the trailers. I wasn't as big as a fan of him in the movies, but I think for what it was, I think James Spader did a pretty solid job. But I just wasn't a fan of the character itself, Ultron. I don't know. Um, I like what's going on with Hawkeye in this movie. That's probably one of my favorite parts. I love how it gives Hawkeye more development. And I love the part when they're at Hawkeye's house. That whole, you know what I'm talking about? The whole part. I love that's one of my favorite like clunks of the movie. I really enjoyed that part when they're on the farm and stuff. And for what it is, I really do like the last battle too. And I love the when they're all fighting and they kind of recreate the serpent shot a bit. I thought that was awesome. And yeah, I like Scarlet Witch. Quicksilver's pretty okay. What's somebody else? Who wants to go next? Ben?
Yeah, sure. So, as much as I love the first Avengers, this movie is abysmal. No,
Holy!
I'm
What?
kidding. I'm
Oh.
kidding. um, what I think this movie does well is making is again with Alex like they do have conflict like with each character. You know, everybody has problems with it, and it's I feel like some of the theme like some of that from like Iron Man 3 and Winter Soldier were carried over to this well. Um, and I think this does a really good job of um, showing the Avengers as them like also be able to save people and not just fight a bunch of you know uh, henchmen or whatever, or you know or it's not just them fighting a robot army in the final battle. They're saving people as well, which I really like. And the action scenes are pretty great. And but where I think this movie fails, and I mean, and the main story's pretty good, and I like Ultron and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But where I think this movie fails is the subplots because they do become a little much at times, and they kind of get in the way of the main story. And I think this kind of as much, and then I know I just praised it for, or I know I just said how I liked that carries stuff over from Iron Man 3, but there's also things in a way where they don't, because I think Tony Stark doesn't carry over any of the traits he did in Iron Man, and he's kind of a prick in this movie.
I see where you're coming from.
I think
But-
that movie built him up to his distress in this one, though.
All right, who wants to talk next? Gavin, Marlon, or Peter?
Overall, I like it. It's fine.
I guess
It's
we'll
good.
go.
I really don't feel like you guys can talk.
I'll go then.
Okay.
So I watched it again yesterday, and I thought I don't love it as much as I used to, but I do think that the pacing does drag on for a little, and I don't think Ultron is exactly a great villain, but for what it is, I think it was pretty good. Although there's this one scene that I remember yesterday where I was like actually thinking about it. Basically, when they're at the farm with Hawkeye, and then he's talking with his girlfriend. Hold on, give me. He's
Or
talking
wife.
with his girlfriend, and then basically his girlfriend saying, "Well, if they need you, then you should go on
Or
and
you-
fight with them." And then
Oh yeah.
that really got me because he wasn't in Infinity War, so I got a feeling that line somehow kind of connects with Avengers 4, where they're probably going to need him for Avengers 4. If that
Oh.
makes any sense.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the movie yesterday and I was listening to that line and I was like, "Oh my god, this connects so much to Avengers 4."
Can I add one thing?
Yeah.
I think this movie really nails down the hell of creation,
Mm-hmm.
both Ultron and Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because it's like they made a devil and an angel out of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
Peter,
What?
what do you have to say about Age of Ultron?
Is the weakest Avengers movie like? I mean, this thing I like in this film, but
Okay.
I don't know. Like it's just a crowded movie.
All right,
I mean,
Gavin.
it's really messy. It's like kind of the pacing does drag on.
All right, Gavin, what do you have to say about it?
What? Where's
Gavin.
I'm right here.
Oh, what do you have to say about
Oh.
Age of Ultron?
Really, I don't really talk about.
Oh.
More people. Hi, Brendan. I like you.
Brendan,
What's up?
Good.
Hey,
God.
Brendan.
Are you still alive?
Yeah, we're talking about the MCU.
Oh, nice.
All right. Okay, let's give our grades. I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
10 out of
Damn.
8.5.
7 out of 10.
E.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, what's next? Ant-Man?
Ant-Man.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll start this off. This has maybe the best music out of any Marvel movie.
Oh, I
I'll
love
give
the
it-
music.
It didn't even occur to me until the second movie how much I love that theme. That's such a great theme. And I love that it like juxtaposes the size of Ant-Man because that song feels very big for such a small character. Anyway,
Okay, yeah.
great movie about Sacramento and not Sacramento, San Francisco.
Sacramento.
This is a better San Francisco movie than it is a superhero movie, which I find hilarious. But I think that's in Peyton Reed's wheelhouse to kind of show favoritism towards different things, and I kind of like that. And I open up to this movie a little bit more. I think it's actually pretty good.
Okay.
I think this has fairly good action for the most part, but it feels very boring. And I hate to say that. I mean, I think a lot of these movies are boring, but like I think this movie's highs are really high, but then its lows are very, or not maybe not very, but like it. This movie has way too much fluctuation in its construction. So
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like the movie's a little like The movie's like, I feel like it knows though. It knows like it knows it's about Ant-Man, so I feel like it tries to be a little whatever introduced, but I do like it. I wish it was directed by Edgar Wright.
Dude, what's happened?
We have to forget that. We're all sad about that.
Yeah, I mean, you can see his like little ideas, I guess, scattered throughout because they still do credit his writing, I guess, but you can see the Edgar Wright in it. Like that great example of Edgar Wright was the scene when he turns small for the first time and he falls through the crack in the floor. You know what scene I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then he falls on the record. That scene, I feel like that whole scene just like screams Edgar Wright. If anyone agrees with me.
Dude, what the hell happened?
What are you talking about?
Dude, why I keep getting muted?
You what?
I keep getting muted.
A rapper down.
Okay.
Good point.
Dude.
Yeah, I like Ant-Man. I think the third act dips a little, but I like it. Ben?
Not much to say about this one. It's a fun, small-scale Marvel movie. I really like Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly and the Michael Douglas and Michael Pena. I think all those four really carry the movie, and it's kind of a fun, lightweight movie. But it's not gonna
Wait,
change your
Wait,
life.
did we say our grades for Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just kind of a lightweight little movie, and it's fun.
All right.
Peter? What about you?
I don't have much to say on this one.
He's muted. Okay.
Dude,
I don't know.
keep muting me.
I have no clue what's happening.
Yeah, I don't have as much to say on this.
I think I know what's happening.
Stop.
Wait.
Seriously.
Brendan's doing it. I know it's
Yeah.
Brendan. I know it's
getting
Brendan.
muted.
Brendan, I know that's Brendan.
What the hell? Wait, can someone like kick him off? What the heck?
I have a feeling. Are you allowed to mute people?
Yeah.
How?
You can.
Okay, Brendan. I'm sorry about this.
Dude, stop.
This is some bullshit.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
God. That's
There we
funny.
Okay.
Cam?
I'm muted, but he left. Okay. Back to Ant-Man, Peter. What do you have to say?
I say I don't have much. I don't like have much thing to say about this.
All right.
So,
We should start to try to speed it up a little. So, Gavin, what do you have to say about Ant-Man?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. What about you, Marlon?
It's a fun movie. It's basically the first Iron Man, just with a smaller scale. Although, the whole scene when they're fighting on the train track with the toys and all that was really creative. So.
Oh, that's a fun scene.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Nothing
Okay.
too
7 out of 10.
7 out B plus.
8 out of 10.
Alex?
6 out of 10.
All right. Captain America: Civil War.
Ooh,
You guys know
Alright.
how I feel about this one.
saucy.
Bro.
All right.
Alex, go ahead. There
Okay.
you go.
Big.
Um,
Aw.
This is without a doubt the worst Captain America movie because
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I think this is the first Marvel movie where I think these movies became more products than anything. This is like the first one where like that realization hit me where Kraft disappeared, and we'll get there when we get there with these other ones. But
oh dear,
the movie is ugly and rudimentary and has no intent than to please its fan base and nobody else.
But is that necessarily? I mean,
Yes, because
That's what Age of Ultron
storytelling
is to me, which is funny.
Yeah, and I obviously disagree, but I already, I'm trying to be as thorough as I can, so I think I explained why I like that movie. But
yeah, that's true. You did.
And I think where that shows is, the inclusion of every other character. And again, this movie, well, I think Age of Ultron had sympathy towards one another. This one doesn't. And this movie forces you to pick an ideology within 2.5 hours of characters. And I think this movie, I don't think it's bad. I think it's on the verge of. It's okay. The action is terribly shot. This is also where I think the composition of these films overall, really show just this like agenda to push content of its overgrowing favoritism. And I think there's cool things. There's cool things in it, but they're shoehorned when they're going to be explored later. So it's an okay movie. There's cool things going for it, but it's not done well.
Yeah. What kind of makes me a little like, I mean, this movie like doesn't play like in the end really now that Infinity War happened. I mean, it doesn't really affect anything. And that's one thing that makes me look back and go, I mean, I like it a lot. It's a fun movie. I really enjoy it. It's not as good as Winter Soldier. I really do love the airport fight. I feel like I can watch the airport fight like over and over again. I do love the airport fight. It introduces Spider-Man, which I thought like back in like 2016, obviously I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. And yeah, I think Tom Holland, it gave us a little taste of what was to come with Tom Holland, and I thought that was good. I really like the way if you think, I mean, it doesn't play into like Infinity War or anything, but it kind of gives, it's kind of like a little taste of what's to come with like Spider-Man Homecoming and Ant-Man and the Wasp, if you think about it more. And yeah, I like it a lot.
For me, I think up until Infinity War, I think this was the most important to the whole plot line, and I think this was I think what this movie does perfectly is it affects the whole universe in a way, and but yet it is able to evolve some of the other characters, and it sets up what some characters are going to be. For example, Tony Stark. This kind of sets him up to where he has to be a teacher later on, just for Spider-Man, and it evolves Cap in a way to where he has to it kind of builds off what Winter Soldier introduced, where he has to, sometimes he's got to make tough decisions, and what happened, and now he after this he becomes a fugitive, and this all affects the entire MCU. It affects what happens in Infinity War, and I think this movie also does a great job of setting up new characters, and for them to grow as well. And I think even though Ant-Man may have been a little shoehorned in, I think
I thought it was a good job setting up Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, I think this just does a great job of moving the universe along, and it affects some of the future events in it. And yeah, so I don't agree with you guys on some of what you just said, but I love this movie, and it holds a special place in my heart.
I will add one more thing. I think this movie transitions Iron Man's character better than Captain America's character, and it's Captain America's movie, so that's really sad. But anyway.
All right, Peter?
I disagree.
What do you have to say about Civil War?
Well, first up, Peter, tell us your experience with this movie.
God, why someone keep stop doing the mute thing.
Nobody's. I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
Marlon,
Peter,
you
tell
are
us
doing it.
Tell us your experience with the movie, I guess.
I mean, I don't know. It's a great experience.
No, like, because you used to hate it and stuff.
Well, I didn't hate it. I just thought it was fine. Well, on a rewatch, I just like it like a lot more.
Yeah.
And that airport scene is just amazing.
All right.
Yeah.
I love the final battle as well. I think that's great.
Yeah, when Cap and Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marlon, do you have anything to say?
I obviously love this movie, and I don't think that Zemo gets that much credit as the villain for the movie.
Look, someone
Because he really isn't a
Marlon.
villain, like a bad villain, you know? But he's like a villain kind of plotting out revenge, and I think that works very well throughout the story. And yeah, basically everything that I would say about this movie, you guys already said. But yeah, I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's a perfect movie.
All right.
Yes,
Gavin?
Mark.
What
Yes.
about you, Gavin?
I had to disagree on Marlon. I mean, my son agreement, but he was there and ugly. It just that one scene with Scarlet Witch, when she blows up and stuff like that. Oh, it was pretty.
In Lagos.
Airport scene and all that. I just think airport scene.
Yeah. Okay. 8 out of 10.
A plus.
10 out of 10 for sure.
5 out of 10.
Peter?
Oh, I mean, 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm piping hot mess.
Okay, next is Doctor Strange.
I really want to like this movie. Here, I'll start.
Yeah.
I really want to like this movie, but I can't. Because I think this movie does a bad job with its character. If that's even possible. But so like, here's how this movie starts. This character, we know is low-key a prick. He's texting and driving in his head, so apparently we're supposed to care for him somehow because he inhabits spirituality.
Yeah.
I'm accepting of other spirituality, and I know that this movie is fiction, but I think this movie doesn't understand the correlation between people's inner desires with religion, and I think, and again, I'm not really a religious person, so I don't know how others are perceiving it, but this felt very. This felt like looking from the outside in instead of the inside, when I think this movie should have this very like welcoming kind of acceptance to it. And I think it's just kind of like clunky.
Yeah.
And I really want to like it. And there's cool things in it. And I like the visual effects and how I think the characters' powers are really cool, but
yeah,
there's something lost there for me. So I don't like this movie.
I like the visuals. I like the character of Stephen Strange, and those are my big positives. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this movie either. It's a very bland Marvel movie. I wanted to like it when I saw it, and I don't know. It just feels it's just another origin story. Like, I mean, the other characters besides Strange and Wong is pretty cool too, but besides
Wong, A plus.
besides like them, like I couldn't really give a rat's ass about any of the other characters. It has a weak villain. Tilda Swinton wasn't that good.
She's so
what's his name? What's the other guy?
Mads Mikkelsen?
No, the other guy. I can't pronounce his name. Peter, you pronounce.
Chiwetel Ejiofor?
Yeah, I couldn't care for him. I don't know. It's just it's just one of those Marvel movies I just would like to forget about. Not a fan.
really quick.
Yeah,
I
you
think
go. You go now. You're
Mm-hmm.
good.
Uh-huh.
You can talk about it now.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's your turn.
All right. Overall, I think it's fine. I like the introduction to the magic and everything, and I like Benedict Cumberbatch a lot as Doctor Strange, and I think on a technical standpoint, visually and effects wise, it's really well done.
Mm.
But again, it's just it feels kind of hollow in the end, and it's just it's the weakest of Phase 3.
So far, yeah. Sure.
But I like it.
Wait, so
B minus.
far it's still Phase 3?
Yeah, yep. I think after Avengers 4 they're cutting the phase.
I thought Infinity War. How
Nah,
long?
still phase 3.
Wait, we just started Civil War, so that's the first Phase 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
still super long. That's so many movies.
that is true. Okay, Peter, what do you want to say about Doctor Strange?
It's fine. I mean, I like it. It's
Wait, hold on. I
definitely.
have a question. Is Infinity War Phase 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
yeah.
why there's 9 movies in Phase 3? What?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Avengers 4 is the last Phase 3.
And then I think they're cutting the phases.
I was gonna say because the first one has like 5 or 6, and then that would mean this one has 10. That makes no sense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like this movie. Yeah, and Benedict Cumberbatch really he did a really good job on Doctor Strange, and the visual is one of the best from the MCU for sure. Yeah, but that is fine.
Okay. Marlon.
This one's gonna be hard for me because I haven't seen the movie since I saw it in theaters. But of course, the visuals are awesome; they're great. But there's just something I feel is empty about the story. Like it doesn't completely satisfy me for an origin story. If that makes any sense? Like I don't know what it is exactly. It's probably the villain or the unneeded love interest between Doctor Strange and Rachel McAdams in this
McAdams.
movie. I don't know. There's something empty about this movie for me, but I don't think it's terrible. I just do think it's. I agree. It's probably the weakest movie in Phase 3.
Okay, Gavin, what about you?
Okay. Okay. Visuals are gorgeous, of course, but pretty shallow. It's like a movie. That's it.
Yeah. All right, 4 out of 10.
Movie 2. That was that boring. So it's really boring, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd give it a 4 out of 10.
Same.
What about you, Alex?
A 4 out of 10.
7
B
out of 10.
B plus, no, B minus.
Ben?
B minus. I said
All right. What's next? Guardians 2?
Mm-hmm.
this movie's great. I love it. I love the character moments, and it's the best looking MCU movie, and it's the one where the jokes hold up, and it's really rewatchable. And I said I just love some of the lines in this movie and the jokes, and it has some of the best character moments of the MCU. So,
All right.
All
and I
right.
think it's one of the best. So,
I guess Ben's going first. Let's talk.
I'll talk.
Yeah,
I just didn't have a lot to say, so I just thought.
that's fine.
Funny. I think the opening, or yeah, like the setup of Guardians 1 was great. But I like the second movie better, but the second one has a terrible intro. Like that first scene, that's like 30 seconds. I'm not counting that, but I think the first 20 minutes of this movie is awful, and I was really scared watching it because I was like, this movie is I'm like I don't know what I'm gonna do, but this movie like has this snap, and after like that first 20 minutes or so, I really really like it. I think this movie picks up insane. I don't know how they were able to do that, but like
Yeah.
if that like first 20 minutes was reworked, I think this would be even better than how I like it now. But I appreciate that this movie really brings a family aspect and both the deterioration of a family and the coming together of one. And I think there's an openness and acceptance to this movie that was a bit more. It had more of a through line than the first movie because, like, yes, obviously they bonded in the first one, but I think as individuals, there's like a safety between them in this one.
Yeah.
And it's like explosive and shiny and exciting. I think this one's exciting, and I really like it.
All right. I think this one has the effects and like visuals in this one are just awesome. This is one of my favorite. I think this is my third favorite in the MCU. I love this movie to death. I think it's funnier than the first movie. The chemistry between the Guardians is even better in this one. Like I love watching them like develop, like get to know each other more because it does take place in the same year as the first one, as we know now. And so they're still getting to know each other, I guess. And it's the first MCU movie that almost made me cry because the ending is just so sad. I love it. I don't know what to say. I love it. Peter?
Yeah, I love this movie too.
Okay.
It's one of the best MCU movie. One of the best looking MCU movie. I don't think it is good as the first one, but yeah,
All right.
still really good though. So
Okay. Yeah, Marlon?
Yeah, I love this movie. I love every second of it. I like what they do with Yondu's character and kind of connect them with Rocket in a way, like in that scene when they're in the spaceship and then Yondu was kind of comparing himself to Rocket on why he's scared and, stuff like that. And that's why they end up getting along in the first place. So I thought that they really did a really good job building that up in the movie. And of course, the emotional payoff at the end when Yondu dies worked very well. I think everything works in this movie, in my opinion. I think it's really good.
I do.
yeah.
All right, Gavin.
It lives. I've first one in a long time, but from what I remember, I think it lived up to everything that made what I liked about it, and I felt like there was more development to the characters, such as the family aspect and all that. And
All right. Okay.
I think it's one of my favorites out of the MCU. Better than more.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
I'd give it a 10.
A plus.
A.
Okay, Spider-Man Homecoming.
You mind if I go really quick because this is gonna be the last one I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Oh, then you're leaving?
Yeah, I'm tired.
All right. Okay, Spider-Man Homecoming. Here we go.
All right. I recently watched this one again, and I loved it when I first saw it, but this is just a movie that gets better and better each time I watch it. And I
completely
love
agree with
how,
you.
even though it is like, even though it's like the most accurate depiction of high school, I think for a superhero movie, it does really well of depicting teenagers. And I think this is the most relatable MCU movie, and this was kind of the start of, I think Civil War was, but this is, I think Civil War, Black Panther, and Infinity War all have the best villains. And I love Tom Holland and as Spider-Man, and of course, the God Ned.
Ned, oh yes.
I give this an A, and yeah, so.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Ben. See you later.
Okay.
See ya.
Yeah.
See ya.
Okay, Alex, you can go next.
Okay. This is a crushingly disappointing movie for me. I love my two favorite superheroes of all time, like not regarding the movies, are Spider-Man and Wolverine. So, I already know they're not doing an origin, but I don't. I find this movie confusing for one big reason. Nobody wanted an origin story, which I totally agree.
Mhm.
But then again, this movie's extremely low stakes, and people are like, yeah, because he's still figuring it out. But that's exactly what an origin story is. So I don't know. Yeah, I think this movie is. I think the characters in it are good, but the script doesn't do them justice or place them in scenarios or exciting sequences or set pieces. I love the dynamic between Tony and Peter. And I think for a shared universe, that's okay. So I don't think that's a bad thing to have that in this movie. And I kind of like those moments, but yeah, as a like it does not feel exciting at all. And for a Spider-Man movie, the stakes are so low, and I really don't like that. And exactly, it's like nobody wanted an origin story, but this is exactly an origin story without Uncle Ben. Like that's it. It's just reworked to fit in the MCU. So pretty much people are loving exactly what they asked not for, which I find is really funny. And I also hate the suit in this movie so much because one reason I love the Spider-Man character is his build and how he his craft, because he's very much a scientist, and Peter has the films show his interest in it, but he is given everything. And
Okay.
I want to see him make stuff. Anyway.
And I know you loved it at first, right?
I have an appreciation for this when it first came out, yeah.
I'm like the complete opposite. I thought at first I was like, oh, okay. And the more I think about this movie, the more and more I love it. Like the more rewatches it takes. I love this movie. I think it's a very, like Ben was saying earlier, I think it's a very accurate representation of high school. And it's funny. Like it works as it's a very well it works very well as like a teen movie to do, obviously. And I just I love the suit. I love Tony and Peter's, like I love their chemistry in this one, even though Tony's not in it that much. Like I love the father figure that Tony is to Peter. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I gave this like a 7 at first, but just the more I think about it, the more and more I love it, and it's very rewatchable, I think, and I love this movie. Peter, do you want to go next? Peter. All right, Marlon, I guess you can go next.
I'm gonna.
Oh, okay. So basically, one thing we need to get out of the way. I think that Spider-Man's my all-time favorite superhero comic book character.
Oh my!
And if it wasn't for Black Panther, this would probably be my favorite solo Marvel movie. And it's going to...
How this?
I know, Peter. I know.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Oh.
All right. That's cool.
So what's up?
Gavin, go next.
I'm gonna get popcorn real quick. Hold on.
Wait, who joined?
Brian.
Me.
Oh, what's up, Ryan? We're talking about we're almost done, but we're going through all the MCU movies. We're on Spider-Man: Homecoming right now. So,
Nice.
if you want to say a little thought on Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Sure, I will. Spider-Man: Homecoming was a movie that actually very much surprised me. When I thought it'd be fun, but kind of forgettable from the trailers. But when I saw it, it's like, I mean, I thought I was genuinely surprised at how much I would enjoy it when I first watched it. It felt kind of a little bit like a superhero satire, which I admired about it. And Tom Holland was great Spider-Man, not better than Tobey Maguire, but he killed the part. And yeah. It's not really that much to say about it. It's just like it's a solid MCU movie. What more do you expect?
All right, Gavin.
Action's great, Keaton's great, etc.
Gavin,
Yeah, what's up?
what do you have to say about Homecoming?
Hold up. fun, all that. I don't know. I don't care. Just, I don't anything else to say right now because I'm doing something right now. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, 9 out of 10.
Wait, hold
9
on.
out of 10.
A.
5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, even
All
then,
right.
I wouldn't say it's like anything like absolutely amazing, but it's it's a good movie in and of itself.
Okay, next is Thor Ragnarok.
Ooh,
Ooh,
now,
can I
there
talk?
we go. Now
Yeah, Alex, you go first.
Some of you may know this is my favorite Marvel movie out of all of them.
Ooh,
Um,
nice.
for one reason is I think one reason I like this is because it barely has any action in it. But I really like this is where the first time I loved a character. I've enjoyed a lot of these movies as you've heard, but this is the first time I fell in love with a character. Uh, and I think the reason with that is because um, the situation he was facing was coping with something that everyone copes with, and that's death. And the catharsis carries over into Infinity War. We'll get there. But I think, um, he puts on this persona that he knows cannot represent him and his emotional state, but it's the only thing that will carry him through. And I think that, again, this is a funny movie, but it's sadly funny. Like, it's depressing, but it's funny.
Yeah.
And I admire that he is coping with trauma that real people do. His whole family is at stake, and it's a sad but funny movie. And I think the writing is really sharp, and it feels very chill. I can relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Taika Waititi's direction in
Same,
this.
man.
I was just like blown away when I saw this in theaters. I
Mhm.
pretty much the other two Thor movies are whatever, like we were talking about earlier. But like this one just brought a whole new changed the character of Thor completely, and now he's one of my new favorite Avengers.
All the better for it, in my opinion.
It's funny. I love what's going on. I love Hulk in this movie. I'm Kate Blanchett is pretty good, but the only thing it's just when the Asgard scenes are all just kind of like I'm more interested in what was going on with Thor and Loki and stuff. Like whenever it cut back to Asgard, I was kind of just like okay, but great movie. I love it.
My thoughts on Thor Ragnarok again, like Spider-Man: Homecoming. I didn't really have that much thoughts, like the trailers and stuff. And when I said that Spider-Man: Homecoming is kind of superhero satire, like Thor Ragnarok is like extremely satirical, and it's all better for it because it gave Thor a personality. Let's be real, Thor is not that interesting of a character. He's a god, and he can shoot lightning with a hammer. Woo! And this movie actually, he gave him, wits. He gave him, or like Taika Waititi, he gave Thor wits. He gave him like something to do and something to make him stand out. And I mean, it would probably be weird since the first two movies he was like all dark and bland and serious and all that kind of stuff. But in this one, he's just like all goofy and stuff. But I mean, whatever. It's definitely a contrast from like the first two or how he was in the rest of the MCU. But that's a good thing, honestly. And I love the humor of it. I love the writing, the directing of it. The look of the movie's great and colorful. What else? And I love Taika Waititi's style of humor and how he applies that to this movie. And I'm glad this is one of the times that a director who made an MCU movie was actually able to make the movie that they wanted instead of just having their product messed with.
Yeah.
And 4 words: Korg will defeat Thanos.
Yes. Oh, I have one question though about what you said because I think you captured a lot of good things. I don't understand how in any way the movie's satirical.
I mean, it's just like it kind of. At least that's how I view it as, I guess. But I mean, just that it has a lot of character kind of. But the only thing like I probably wouldn't like about the movies or don't like whatever is that as good of a job Kate Blanchett does, her character her villain is a little bit bland, in my opinion. I feel like maybe they probably could have done more to make like a more interesting villain, especially when the rest of the movie feels like it was going against the superhero tropes, and for them just make like a regular bland villain, it just kind of felt weird with the contrast and how they were just jabbing at the other superhero tropes. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, Kate Blanchett's always amazing. She's my girl.
We love Kate Blanchett in this house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Peter, what did you think of Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah. This is this is the funniest movies in the MCU, in my opinion, and the best incarnation of Thor. I really like the style and is really colorful.
Yep. Oh, I forgot to mention
Yeah.
that. It's a pretty movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very, very beautiful movie.
What about you, Marlon?
Beside Hela, which is, I don't know, she's fine, I guess.
Marlon.
I don't like Thor that much as a character, like before Ragnarok. But like after Ragnarok, he's one of my favorite Marvel characters, just because I thought that this movie really made him that interesting. Because I don't really think that the whole fish out of water thing with the first movie really worked for the MCU. I like this more like space type thing that they're kind of doing, I guess you could say. And I just think it's a really nice looking movie. It's really fun. I just don't get how. I mean, a lot of people like today. Kyle was talking shit about this movie in the chat. I was like, but Kyle, because he just. I don't think that people exactly understand what this movie is trying to accomplish, because a lot of people call this movie kind of like, a lot of people think that the movie doesn't know what it wants to be and the tone, whether it wants to be serious sometimes or it wants to be fun or funny. But I mean, Thor as a character, really, I mean, he's just like that, I guess you could say, because you just can't take a Thor movie that serious. And I think that this movie does a really good job on doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 8 out of 10 for me.
8 out of 10. A minus.
That's my rating as well. I saw it twice in theaters. Both times made me come.
8 out of 10.
9.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're almost done. We have a few. I guess since this is three more, so the 2018 ones. Let's try to keep our thoughts quick so we can finish.
Now, Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther. Alex, you can start us off.
Okay. I think it's one of the best Marvel movies.
Okay.
For the sole reason that this movie accomplishes the one thing that I think they should have accomplished way long ago, and that's the fantasy of heroes in real life. And I really love. I think a reason I love this movie is one of Killmonger's last lines in the movie. He's like,
yeah.
What did he? I can't remember exactly what he said.
Yeah, me either, but I know what you're getting at.
Yeah, he's like just a kid from Oakland believing in fairy tales. I think like showing that the representation of kids these days and the fan base that Marvel has. This has so much love for its fandom, and that people do look up to these images of people, even if they're not real. And the fact that Killmonger got to see something so real is what kids always dream of, and it was like really sweet. So yeah.
I like this movie. Killmonger's awesome, but I do find it a little overrated. I mean, I still really enjoy it, but I think there's some, like, the fight scenes. I feel like there's some issues with like the CGI and editing, especially during the fight with Black Panther and Killmonger. But it's a little slow. I still really like it. I like the characters. T'Challa's awesome. I like the villain, of course, like I already said. Good movie. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. So my thoughts on Black Panther a lot. The first time I watched it, I liked it, but I thought it was kind of like a typical regular Marvel movie with nothing really much to add to it. And but on second viewing, I warmed up to it a little more. You could say objectively it doesn't really even have enough to like stand out among the rest of the Marvel movies, I guess. But I mean, I feel like it probably I don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, Killmonger's fun. Like even though his motivation in of itself is probably a little bit done to death. You know, like his father was killed, now he's going to go seek revenge. But at the same time, he was a very, very good villain. Chadwick Boseman's awesome as Black Panther. The action's good. What else? Oh, the look of the movie is also great, particularly in the sequence where T'Challa, I don't know how to describe it. He goes in that phase, I guess. That seems beautiful. What else? Jesus. I love the ending of the movie where they go to the neighborhood in the opening scene. But the only problem with the movie, I thought the CGI was bad at points, and I also thought that the humor was also bad, particularly the word those jokes. But I do feel like it's kind of hard to talk about. 'Cause it's like it has. It's a good Marvel movie. I guess that's enough you could say, and it does enough to the movie, and like I don't know. I'm just starting here because it's hard for me to really grasp my thoughts well enough, just because it's just a good movie. That's all I guess.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Peter,
Yeah.
what do you think of Black Panther?
Is alright. I guess I don't know. I don't have much to say about this movie.
All right. Marlon.
I think Black Panther is the best standalone movie in the MCU. I mean, it's not
Fair, I
just
guess.
story.
Oh no, no.
I really do think that Killmonger is a fantastic villain. I mean, think about it. He was left orphaned at a very young age, and he wasn't even given that much resources to grow up with to basically be successful or anything like that. And basically, he's one of those villains where you don't know where he thinks he's doing the right thing, but at the same time, he really isn't. And he's out here speaking the truth and all that, the painful truth. And he basically wants to liberate and protect Black people and kind of give the people in Wakanda a sense of what it is to be betrayed in a way, if that makes any sense. And I thought that part of Killmonger was just overall, Killmonger is probably the best villain in the MCU.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Gavin? Black Panther.
Oh,
Black Panther.
that's all I have to say about Black Panther. I'm just chilling here.
Oh. Okay. Should we give our grades then?
I currently have it at a 7, but it's a positive 7 out of 10. I'm not.
Yeah, same. 7 out of 10 for me.
It's just that I don't know.
8 out of 10.
9 out of 10 for sure.
B minus is fine.
All right. I know. Okay, now next is obviously Infinity War, and this is obviously a packed movie. So let's just try to keep for everyone. Let's just try to keep as much as we have to say,
That's
because obviously everyone knows about this, how this movie goes down. So
everyone went to see this movie opening weekend. So
So let's just say our quick thoughts.
Okay.
Greatest movie.
Alex.
Okay, my quick thoughts. I utterly hate this movie. This movie was built for the media, and it was built upon its online favoritism, and it's very cynical and not forward-looking, and there's no reflection on characters. It is just very everything is so fast. There's you can't move in this movie, and because we've seen everything, there's a loss of excitement, and this movie failed in my opinion, and I don't like it at all. It's one of the worst.
I absolutely,
Um,
I absolutely loved it. It's everything I wanted to see out of this build-up I've been waiting for years. It made me. There's so much going on, and I could see why somebody would get a little annoyed by that. But every scene there was something to look forward to. I loved Thanos. I thought he was very threatening. Yeah, I loved it. Favorite MCU movie.
Okay, so my thoughts on Infinity War. When I first saw the trailers and shit, I was like, oh, there's no way they're gonna be able to stuff all these characters and all this shit into one movie and be able to make it work. But I saw it. I've seen it 3 times now, and all 3 times I am in awe that I was completely wrong. This is my second favorite MCU movie, or third. I can't. It's hard to say. But one of my favorite things about it's just basically, I have a lot to say about it. But one main thing I'll say that just is on the brain right now: the character of Thanos himself. You think he'd just be big bad guy wants to destroy the world, but the big thing that they even are able to humanize him throughout the movie, and as soon as he snaps his fingers and does what everyone is worried about him doing, well, spoiler alert, but you've all seen the movie. He already the second he does that, he automatically realizes whether or not he's done the right thing, and that adds a layer of depth to his own character. And I also love just how this movie just. I love the action scenes. I loved how all the characters were crossed over with the story. I just loved everything about it. Great movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Peter.
Mm-hmm.
We all
Yeah.
Infinity War. What's your thought?
Yeah.
We all know.
Yeah, I love this movie. It's my favorite MCU movie. It's exciting and just
Left you in awe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the ending is just
Marlon.
completely
I
shattered.
love every second about this movie. All the characters. It's so cool that I know a lot of you guys may disagree, but I think that this movie had a very good job on sharing screen time with every different character in this movie.
Absolutely.
And because I think when a lot of people look at this movie, they think that someone like Spider-Man or Captain America is supposed to have a lot of screen time in the movie. But no, he really, especially when you have this many characters, I think that they really do a really good job balancing the characters in this movie. And, while there are characters in this movie that are more needed to the story, like Gamora, I still think that this movie does very well job just balancing all these characters. And I think that that's a point that a lot of people are missing out about this movie.
Yeah. Okay, Gavin, do you have anything to say about Infinity War?
At this point, it's kind of like Thanos himself. But honestly, he's threatening. He has oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. Great movie. I love it. 10 out of 10.
Pretty short. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. I give it a 10. Solid 10.
10 out of 10 for sure.
Oh, A+ easily.
As much as I praised it, I think I'd go still for a 9 out of 10.
I'm gonna go 2 out of 10.
Oh,
2 out of 10? Damn, boy.
what?
2 out of 10.
You don't like.
Wait, so it is your least favorite, Alex. It is your least favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, now last one.
Damn.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. There's not really much. I guess there's not really much to say about this one, so let's just make it quick. Alex,
I haven't seen this. I haven't seen this movie fully.
I thought you saw it again.
Oh yeah, I
What?
did. A lot of it slipped through my mind. I fell asleep the first time I watched this movie. I think it's good though. I love that the half of this movie is one scene. I think that's the funniest thing ever. It's good.
Yeah. I really liked it. I think it's better than the first Ant-Man. Loads of fun. It's just like it knows it doesn't really have like a big like it. You don't really need to watch this movie. Like if you're like it doesn't play a huge role, I guess, in the MCU. Except for it's kind of just filler. Like except for the post-credit scene. But I had a great time watching it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I did not see it, but the trailers did not impress me, and I was mainly had a vendetta against this movie because I was sick of seeing this trailer before every fucking movie I went to see. It played before Hereditary, for Christ's sakes.
Oh, are you gonna watch it though eventually?
Oh, I'll watch it when it comes out on a Blu-ray, but I'm not going to catch it in theaters.
All right, Peter. What about you?
Catch like most of them.
Yeah, it was really good. Better than the first one. I mean, I have a lot of fun with it. It's really enjoyable, and yeah. The ending is really good.
Marlon?
You guys know this movie is
Yeah.
like it holds a special place in my heart just because you guys know when I saw it the second time. You know, you guys know that.
Yeah,
But
we all know.
obviously, that's not the reason why I really like this movie. I think
Personal things.
yeah, but like that's not exactly the reason why I like the movie. I just think that overall, as a smaller Marvel movie,
Yeah.
for it to be one of the smaller Marvel movies, it still has a pretty high stake, and I think it works really well. And I think that this is the funniest MCU movie. It very well balances the very family type thing with the comedy and all that, and I think it really works out very well. And I think it's the most entertained I've been in a theater all summer long, in my opinion. Yeah, I just really like this movie. I think it's just really entertaining, really fun. Ghost, I don't think it's too bad of a villain. I actually think she's in the mid range for a villain, for a Marvel villain. But I don't think she's bad, not at all. I think she's actually a good villain.
Okay. Gavin?
I was busy.
Do you have anything to say about Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. All
Alright.
right. So I'd give it an
8 out of 10.
8 out of
8
10.
out of 10. A minus. Yeah.
6 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10.
All right. So we did it.
You guys are so easy.
At the moment, we have 0 viewers, but if
Ooh.
you're watching this just on your own, I don't know.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. It was fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
I've only been on for 10 minutes. Rip me.
Yeah.
Are we off there?
Not
Well-
yet. Alex, say bye.
Bye, everybody.
All right.